Al-Jannah, Jannah, paradise. Allah mentions it nearly 150 times in the Quran, not as a vague comfort, not as a distant idea, as a home, described in detail, its rivers, its gates, its greetings, who walks through and what they hear when they arrive. Why would Allah describe it so many times in such detail? Because He wants you to want it. Today, we walk through the most powerful moments Jannah appears, the promises, the descriptions, and the scenes He painted for those who believe. And in the final mention, Allah gives it a name He uses nowhere else. Mention 1. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 25. Give those who believe and do good the news that they will have gardens graced with flowing streams. Whenever they are given sustenance from the fruits of these gardens, they will say, "We have been given this before," because they were provided with something like it. They will have pure spouses, and there they will stay. This is one of the first times paradise is described in the Quran, and notice how Allah opens it. Give good news. Before the descriptions, before the conditions, the first instruction is joy. He wants the believers to feel where they are going. Gardens with rivers flowing beneath, fruits they will recognize, pure companions, and one phrase that changes everything: they will remain there. From the very beginning, Allah frames Jannah not as a wish, but as news. Mention 2. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 35. We said, Adam, live with your wife in this garden. Both of you eat freely there as you will, but do not go near this tree, or you will both become wrongdoers. Before Jannah was a destination, it was a home. Adam alayhi salam was created and placed in the garden, told to live in it with his wife and eat freely from it wherever they wished. This is where the human story began, not on earth. Which means your longing for paradise is not a dream of somewhere new. It is homesickness. We are trying to return. Mention 3. Surah Al-Imran, verse 133. Hurry towards your Lord's forgiveness and a garden as wide as the heavens and earth prepared for the righteous. Here, Allah gives a command: race, not walk, not drift. Race toward your Lord's forgiveness and a garden as wide as the heavens and the earth. Stop and take in that measurement. Its width is the heavens and the earth combined. And then one more word: prepared. Jannah is not being built as you earn it. It already exists. It is ready, waiting for the righteous. The only question is whether you are running toward it. Mention 4. Surah Al-Imran, verse 185. Every soul will taste death, and you will be paid in full only on the day of resurrection. Whoever is kept away from the fire and admitted to the garden will have triumphed. The present world is only an illusory pleasure. Every soul will taste death. That is how this verse begins. The one sentence no human being escapes. But then Allah defines what success actually means. Not wealth, not fame, not a long, comfortable life. Whoever is kept away from the fire and admitted to the garden, that is the one who has truly triumphed. One verse, and every other definition of winning collapses. This world, Allah says, is only an illusory pleasure. Mention 5. Surah At-Tawbah, verse 111. God has purchased the persons and possessions of the believers in return for the garden. They fight in God's way, they kill and are killed. This is a true promise given by Him in the Torah, the Gospel, and the Quran. Who could be more faithful to His promise than God? So be happy with the bargain you have made. That is the supreme triumph. This verse is written like a contract. Allah has purchased from the believers their lives and their possessions, and the price is the garden. Think about what that means. The buyer is Allah, the seller is you, and He created everything you are selling in the first place. Yet He still calls it a purchase, and then tells the believers to rejoice in the bargain they have made. No one honors His servants like that, except Allah. Mention 6. Surah Ar-Ra'd, verse 35. Here is a picture of the garden that those mindful of God have been promised: flowing streams and perpetual food and shade. This is the reward that awaits those who are mindful of God. The disbelievers' reward is the fire. Here, Allah paints the picture Himself, the likeness of the garden promised to the righteous, rivers flowing beneath. And then two details that quietly answer every exhaustion in your life. Its food is everlasting, and so is its shade. Nothing in Jannah runs out, nothing wilts, nothing is given then taken back. In a world where every blessing fades, Allah describes a place where the word temporary does not exist. Mention 7. Surah Al-Hijr, verse 47. And we shall remove any bitterness from their hearts. They will be like brothers, sitting on couches, face to face. Of all the descriptions of paradise, this one might be the most tender. We shall remove whatever bitterness is in their hearts, every grudge, every old wound between believers, every resentment you carried for years and could not put down. Allah Himself removes it. And then the scene, brothers, seated face to face, at peace. Jannah is not just a beautiful place, it is a place of healed hearts. Mention 8. Surah Maryam, verse 63. That is the garden we shall give as their own to those of our servants who were devout. That is the garden we shall give to those of our servants who were devout. And the word Allah chooses here means to give as inheritance. An inheritance is not a wage. It is what passes to you through belonging, through closeness. Allah chose a word of family, not a word of payment, because your deeds alone could never afford Jannah. He gives it to servants who were mindful of Him. And if the mentions so far have moved you, the second half is where Allah opens the doors. Mention 9. Surah Al-Furqan, verse 16. There they will find everything they wish for, and there they will stay. Sallallahu Alaihi. This is a binding promise from your Lord. There they will have whatever they wish, forever. Read that slowly. Not most things, not what you are owed, whatever you wish. And then Allah adds something remarkable. He calls it a promise binding upon your Lord. Allah, who owes nothing to anyone, has made Jannah a promise He holds Himself to. That is how serious He is about bringing you there. Mention 10. Surah As-Sajdah, verse 17. No soul knows what joy is kept hidden in store for them as a reward for what they have done. This might be the most mysterious verse about paradise in the entire Quran. No soul knows what joy has been kept hidden in store for them. Everything you have heard, the rivers, the gardens, the shade, that is only what Allah chose to reveal. The rest is hidden, stored away, a surprise being kept for you. The Prophet ﷺ told us Allah has prepared what no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no heart has ever imagined. Whatever you are picturing right now, it is greater. Mention 11. Surah Yasin, verse 58. Peace, a word from the Lord of Mercy. The people of paradise are busy in their joy, reclining with their spouses in the shade. And then one word reaches them. Salam, peace. But look at where it comes from, a word from the Lord of Mercy, not carried by an angel, not passed through a gatekeeper. Allah Himself greets the people of Jannah. After a lifetime of praying to Him without seeing Him, calling on Him without hearing a reply, in Jannah He speaks to you. Mention 12. Surah Az-Zumar, verse 73. Those who were mindful of their Lord will be led in throngs to the garden. When they arrive, they will find its gates wide open, and its keepers will say to them, Peace be upon you, you have been good, come in, you are here to stay. Now the scene arrives. Those who were mindful of their Lord are led to the garden, in groups, in honor, like guests of a king. They arrive, and find the gates already open, and its keepers say, Peace be upon you, you have been good, come in to stay forever. No interrogation at the door, no waiting in fear, a welcome. The entire journey of a believer's life ends with one word, enter. Mention 13. Surah Az-Zukhruf, verse 70. Enter paradise, you and your spouses, you will be filled with joy. A few words that carry a world of mercy. Enter the garden, you and your spouses. Jannah is not a solitary reward. The love that was real in this life, the marriage is built on faith, they walk in together. And the verse ends with a promise: you will be filled with joy. Allah does not simply admit you to paradise, He commits Himself to your happiness inside it. Mention 14. Surah Muhammad, verse 15. Here is a picture of the garden promised to the pious. Rivers of water forever pure, rivers of milk forever fresh, rivers of wine, a delight for those who drink, rivers of honey clarified and pure, flow in it. There they will find fruit of every kind, and they will find forgiveness from their Lord. How can this be compared to the fate of those stuck in the fire, given boiling water to drink that tears their bowels? Here is the likeness of the garden promised to the righteous, and this time Allah describes the rivers. Rivers of water that never go stale, rivers of milk whose taste never changes, rivers of honey, pure and clear. Notice what He is doing. Every pleasure you know from this world exists there, perfected with all the harm removed. This world gives you a taste, then takes it away. Jannah gives you the source and never takes anything back. Mention 15. Surah Ar-Rahman, verse 46. For those who fear the time when they will stand before their Lord, there are two gardens. Surah Ar-Rahman. For whoever feared the standing before his Lord, there are two gardens. Not one, two. And look at what earned them, not perfection, fear of that moment, the standing, the accounting, the meeting with Allah. The one who trembled at the thought of standing before his Lord is answered with double. In Allah's generosity, even your fear of Him becomes a reason for more. Mention 16. The final mention, Surah Al-Fajr, verse 30. And into my garden. At the end of Surah Al-Fajr, Allah addresses a single soul. O soul at peace, return to your Lord, well pleased and pleasing to Him. Enter among my servants, and enter my garden, Jannati. In this moment, Allah attaches paradise to Himself. Not the garden, not a garden, mine. Because in the end, Jannah was never about the rivers or the palaces. It is the place He prepared, filled with what He hid, opened with His greeting. It is His. And that is what makes it paradise. Nearly 150 times. That is how often Allah speaks of Jannah in His book. Not because He needed to repeat Himself, but because He knows how quickly we forget where we are going. Every mention is a hand on the shoulder, turning your face back toward home. The rivers are real. The gates are real. The greeting of salam is real. And as long as you are still breathing, you are still in the race. If one of these mentions moved your heart, share it with someone you love. They might need it today. And follow for more, because next time we walk through the most powerful times, another word appears in the Quran. May Allah make you and me among those who hear. Enter my garden. Ameen.